funny when I do these improvs. No matter how long I've done them, it still feels like I'm jumping off of a bridge and hoping that I'm gonna land on water or something soft. But at the same time, I feel like I've gotten pretty decent at rolling out of my mistakes. uh, what's up? I hope you're all good today. Sorry I didn't make a video yesterday. I procrastinated and I screwed up. But I'm here today, and the album is coming out tomorrow, and it just hit me last night how huge this is for me. Um, Gosh, it's been a journey, a very emotional journey, a very empowering journey. Um, this is the most important album that I will ever make. And it's there's little reasons why it's not my favorite because I'm a perfectionist, but it won't change. It will never change the fact that this is the absolutely most important album that I will ever make, because this album marks a transition of me coming into my own. It marks a transition of me accepting myself fully. It marks a transition of me creating a name for myself. Nobody in my family has established themselves on the scale that I'm established myself. I don't know if anybody in my bloodline has. Maybe I might have some famous inventors or something like that in my family, but this is it's huge for me. It and I hope that there's massive success with it, and that I can take my family name, my bloodline, from having struggled for so long to being a name known for success, and high achievement in the world. I hope that this album or a song from this album, will seal that for me. But, at the end of the day, it's hopes, and it's hard right now because everybody is pushing to get back out into the world because everything's been shut down for so long, and especially being in this is my gateway into the entertainment industry, for real. And it's taken 37 years to get there. I can't be jealous of people who they're out doing stuff when they're 6 years old. They're out doing stuff when they're 20 years old, and in between that, and on so on and so forth. Because my journey is different. I had to develop a story. I had to develop a sound of my own. I had to develop a style of my own by my own personal choice. I'm pretty sure that if I had decided to just work under somebody, and stay under someone's guidance and do exactly what they did, I probably would have been successful earlier on. But I haven't made it yet. Like, I'm not selling out theaters and stadiums. When I'm selling out theaters and stadiums, then I'll know that I've made it. But I'm in the running now. I'm in the running, and I'm happy that I'm like, okay, now you're in the running now. You just now you gotta work in a different way. You gotta work harder. That adaptation process is different from having things under your direct control and playing on the streets every day. It's a very different game, and so I'm learning a lot as this. And luckily I have I have a lot of friends in the industry that if I need any help, and I also have a great, amazing manager who, like, he's been such a massive blessing to my life and my career as it's lifting off. He's been such a breath of fresh air. It's like I can't even, man, I can't, I like, you don't even know the people behind the scenes. It just, you know, yeah, it's Glenn has been really great to me, and a massive thanks to uh, a really good friend uh, who who connected us. Um, Jamie, yeah, she connected us together, and it's been really great. I'm sure I've frustrated the hell out of him sometimes because I'm so stubborn about things, and I have a hard time adapting to, you know, different ways of doing things sometimes. But we've made it work up to now, and this is a mark of a lot. This is not just a mark for the beginning of a legitimate career, but it's a mark of transitioning to accepting, accepting myself fully. It's a mark of the transitioning of coming into my own world and creating a legacy for myself. As hard as it's been, uh, you guys have watched me from, performing on the street every day, being practically homeless, and I used to put vlogs about that stuff, but I deleted them for my own personal reasons. You guys have seen me go through even another personal transition, detransitioning from, going from working on transitioning into a woman, and that took a whole other thing because I was in complete defiance to masculinity and my own masculinity, my physical biology that I was born with. I was in complete and total resistance to that because I didn't understand it. Because also the world doesn't even understand it. It thinks it's a lot more simple than it is, but it's a lot more intricate and a lot more fine. And there's a very delicate interplay in between masculinity and femininity that I didn't understand at all, and I was in complete defiance to it. I hated my father, and it took this journey. It took all the loneliness. It took all the downtime for me to study myself. For me to study subjects. Learning. I took the time to learn about the chemical differences and similarities between men and women, and masculinity and femininity, and what is it, and what has the development of the interplay in between the relationship between masculinity and femininity over over as long as man has existed, and the chemical shifts and all that stuff, just to understand myself, to understand my father, so I wouldn't hate him, to see if I had really to see if I had a legitimate reason to hate him. um, and I was able to witness firsthand different sides of the picture of how things are currently. Both sides. My transitioning side, where I still had some animosity towards things, and the side where I was I was in it to win it. The sides where I have completely come to accept everything and see things for what they are objectively. I mean, I've always been an objective person, but if I don't have the proper information to facilitate a proper assessment of the reality of things, I tend to accept certain things, and that was where I was I did not have the information. Nobody taught me these things. I had to research them. And, I found some good individuals, a lot of them online, that helped me, just pointed me in the right direction to resources to understand things better. And that was a whole uh, path of self acceptance that I'm at now, and acceptance of the reality of the state of the world, which we have all created. We have all created it. And that there's a lot of details that could go in that story. Maybe I'll do a Patreon thing, and if you really want to know that story, I'll just kind of do something like this where I'm just explaining my story in more detail of things that I have personally learned. Maybe have a friend on with me for moral support, but I won't say all that stuff because again, I realize that some people don't have all of the information for themselves, so they don't see where we are. They don't even see it in themselves. And I take full responsibility for everything that I've done and everything that I've said. And even some things that aren't necessarily my fault, like my upbringing and some aspects of it, it's not my fault. I was a kid. I couldn't choose my parents, and I couldn't choose things like that. But regardless, this is my life, and I still have to clean it up. And sitting there and pouting about who did what, it's for me personally, it's not going to help me. It's not going to help me at all. I got to deal with all my own personal psychological issues, and put my pants on one leg at a time. I might be a late bloomer. I'm 37 years old and releasing my first legitimate album, but at least through this process, it's been such an intricate process that I've learned so much and come to love and accept so much and see things in so many different lights. And this album is a massive celebration of that. And there's a great song on the album called Honesty that I wrote with Autumn Rowe, and it's kind of everything. We were thinking about it being the title track, but it's in there, and you should look for that song because it's a really great song. And it's a celebration. It's a very upbeat kind of song. So anyways, the album's out. Please go check it out. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. Also, the vinyl's coming out on the 20th the next month. I'm super excited about that. It's gonna, yeah. I've never had a vinyl out, so This is amazing. Um, it just, I encourage you to, to find yourself. Maybe do a little bit of what I did. Study some stuff that you don't agree with and challenge yourself. Like, it's like, okay, let's see if you can give me a deeper reason to hate you. Like, even if that's the attitude that you gotta take, then go for it. But just open, look at everything. Even if you completely disagree with it, dive deep into it and seek first to understand it, because in seeking first to understand things, that's where honesty comes from, and truly trying to you understanding your enemies as well as people who advocate for you in the way that you do things. And that's the big lesson. That's the big lesson. Anyways, please like and subscribe this video. I even dislike it. Just anything. Just so I can get more engagement on this video, and you know, I and maybe I can get more perks for the live streams and stuff like that, because I'm trying to figure out how to supplement my income, because welfare is about to, kick me off, because of, the this whole pandemic period is kind of shutting down, and not being able to, I hadn't been able to street perform and make anything, while everything was shut down. So, I'm in the transition period of booking a bunch of shows. Most of them are international shows, and I'm hoping I get tour support from the label to do those. But we gotta have more dates, so it's taking a little bit, and the album is just coming out now. So yeah, I could use just your support, and helping getting this story to go further. I would like to create another extension of the bloodline that I came from, that is full of success, and that's full of, making success out of what we love, instead of struggling so much and carrying so much heartbreak and animosity within, and all that good stuff. Anyways, bye.